Howdy everybody, welcome back. This is video number 13 of the wing series, and you see my dad there. He's helping me out. He came down to help out, and so he is helping me put the skins on the left wing, the top skins on the left wing. And it was time consuming, this to say the least. And I counted up the rivets, and it depends on what you count as, a rivet like for the skin, but there's roughly 742 rivets on that top skin. 720 some if you don't count the rivets that are for the nut plates. So just FYI, that's a lot of rivets to buck in a day. Did you pass the second time?
I didn't finish it the first time, so it doesn't count.
Oh, that's what you're going with? Okay, so let's have that on video.
Stop.
Okay, so tell me, May.
Stop.
Tell me, for my video.
I took my permit test, and then it said, hey, you're not doing great. So I X'd out of the tab, and it let me take it again.
And you passed the second time?
I passed the second time.
Okay, so you failed the first time.
Nuh-uh-uh. I did not fail the first time.
You quit the first time.
No, God lets you have second chances.
Okay.
Mom figured out what the problem was. JK, we figured out the problem.
So that was my daughter. She is now a driver with a permit, so I would stay off the roads if I was you in Phoenix. And she is the one that will share jokes with us later in this video. Okay, doing the skin riveting on, and I forget who I saw it from, but they said to back rivet from this side, and that is true, and it works really, really well until there's not enough angle. And so you can kind of see here that these all look really, really nice, and those all look really, really nice, and down there they look really, really nice. But you notice I didn't do this one, and I stopped it about here, and that's because the angle isn't very good to get those, and this doesn't move enough out of the way, and you end up bending rivets. We've drilled out a few, so just FYI, those last ones you got to kind of buck from the other side. You got to do it backwards, or the right way, or however you think about it. So, deal. So back riveting those it says to back rivet in the instructions, so that's what I was doing. But I would highly recommend this, the offset 12-inch back rivet, so you can actually get to those things that are a little bit too I don't know, you just can't get to them. The angle isn't right, so that offset rivet would really help. So I highly recommend that as well. And then at the beginning of the video, I did show the big bucking bar that my dad was using on the front of the skins. And so I would recommend that as well. It's just big. It covers a lot of area. It's kind of nice. But you will see in this video, there's a few different places where it's like we're working, and then the page turns, and then all of a sudden we're towards the end of the thing. And I figured you guys wouldn't want to watch the bucking of an entire wing skin, because it's 700 and some rivets basically that do exactly the same thing, which gets kind of boring. So instead of doing that, I will share a joke. Well, actually, I'm not going to share a joke with you. This is my daughter, the one that has her permit now and is driving on the streets. God help us. But she has a couple of jokes, so I will let her tell her jokes. So here they are.
So a German, a Frenchman, an Englishman, and a Spaniard were at a fair to see this great juggler. And they were all pretty short and couldn't see the show, so the juggler got on a pedestal and asked, "Can you see me?" And they responded, "Yes, oui, si, ja."
And here is her second joke.
What's the difference between a dirty bus stop and a lobster with breast implants? One's a crusty bus station and one's a busty crustacean.
So, needless to say, those are fantastic jokes. So feel free to use them with your kids, or kids use them with your parents. Either one works. But I thought they were great. So there you go. And then I do have that 4-inch yoke that is really handy when you have to get over something that sticks out a lot. So we used it for almost the entire upper row of rivets. The rivets that are near the inboard side of the wing, you have those extra, the doublers and then the doubler plate. So it's like really thick. Those have to be bucked the normal way. You can kind of see us doing that there. Instead of back riveting them or using the squeezer, we switched to the bucking them with the flat thing on the rivet gun. So that worked out pretty well, but you do get your use of different tools definitely for the skins, because some are a lot easier to do the different ways. So that's kind of why they worked out. But I tried to fast forward through a lot of this so you guys, didn't have to watch us doing a whole bunch of rivets. And we're way on that other side, so sorry for the camera angle, but hey, that's what you get sometimes with non-professional video people and non-professional airplane builders. You get bad camera angles. But you can see my dad in the reflection there, and it is pretty cool on the wing to see. It's very shiny, so it's very cool. And this is not the so it's not the nut plates on the end. These are the actual connecting to the rivets on the other side, but it's where the doubler thing, so you can stand on it. It has an extra sheet of aluminum underneath those first 4 ribs. And I have said it before in a video, that's the one thing so far that I wouldn't necessarily follow the instructions on. The countersinking that so it didn't fit perfectly flush. I would countersink them so they fit perfectly flush. That's just my own personal opinion. And then this is working on the connecting the very bottom of the wing skin to the spar itself. And it was pretty easy, but there's, again, a ton of rivets along that side, so you just have to keep working at it. And in those first 4 ribs, it is very tight. And I have big fat hands, and I don't know if you can see my big fat belly there too. It's hard to get in there, but it is a lot easier when you get down to the other side of the wing. And the instructions do say to start in the middle and work your way out. So we're getting there. You'll see us kind of go, skipping some and then moving down and working around. It's because we started in the middle and put some in and then moved and put some more in. And then you'll see us kind of get rid of all of the clecos and then do all the holes that we haven't done. So it's just kind of how it works. And there we are, finishing up on the middle part of the outer skin of the airplane. And I thought this was a pretty cool shot. You can kind of see those rivets just getting put in there. So that was pretty cool. Kind of an up close shot there. And then now we remove all of the clecos, and then we'll go do the same thing over and over and over again. So you won't see all of that here. I'll fast forward for you real quick. And we will, boom, all of a sudden the clecos are gone. We put the last couple of rivets in, and we're good to go, because that's how awesome we are. It is really nice working with my dad. He's a was in the Air Force. He's a machinist by trade. So he's very capable when it comes to using tools and doing that stuff. And it's really nice to work, with somebody that knows what they're doing and has like more skill than you do, because then you can, say, "Hey, I needed to do this," and then they just do it, and you're like, "Okay, good. I'm glad I didn't have to do it." So that was really nice. It's nice to have him able to come down every now and again and help out, um, especially with big, huge, gigantic projects. So that's pretty cool. And then this is the last part of that wing skin, and then the top skins will be done. So this is hooking the um, nut plates onto the edge of that skin. It's where the fairing kind of fits between the fuselage and where the wing gets attached. So that one's pretty easy. You just use the squeezers, normal stuff there. Take care of that. You screw your screw and make sure it's lined up in the middle, and you're good to go. And you can see management there just double checking our work to make sure everything is okay. And as always, like and subscribe and tell all your friends about my videos.